Top 10 things to do in Istanbul right now. Merhaba, adventurers and culture enthusiasts. Welcome to our channel, where we dive into the heart of the world's most exciting cities. Today, we got an absolutely cracking video lined up for you. We're going to explore the top 10 things to do in Istanbul right now. But before we dive into that, did you know that Istanbul has some mind-blowing and slightly bonkers facts? Did you know that Istanbul is the only city in the world that sits on 2 continents? Yep, it's a geographical superstar, hanging out in both Europe and Asia. The Bosphorus Strait, like a watery dividing line, splits Istanbul into 2 parts. The western half on the European side is to the west of the Bosphorus, while the eastern half on the Asian side is, you guessed it, to the east. And get this, even though it's on both continents, Istanbul is considered a European city. 2/3 of the folks in Istanbul call the European sign home, making it a truly unique and dual continental place to be. Tulip mania. Forget the Netherlands for a second. Tulips originally bloomed in Istanbul. The city was so obsessed, it caused the world's first economic bubble. That's right, flower power. Ancient vending machine. The world's first known vending machine was in Istanbul, dispensing holy water in the 4th century. Talk about ancient convenience. A city of many names, Istanbul has had more identity crises than a teenager, previously known as Byzantium and Constantinople, before finally settling on Istanbul. Now here is a mind-blowing fact about Istanbul's population. Back in the 1950s, around 970,000 people called this city home. Fast forward to today and hold on to your hats, because Istanbul is now rocking a whopping 16 million residents. That makes it not just the most populous city in Europe, but also the 5th largest city globally when we're talking about the number of people living right here within the city limits. To put things in perspective, Istanbul's population outshines the whole country of Belgium, where about 12 million people live. Now that's a severe population growth over the years. Now let's talk about a surprising fact about Istanbul. Even though it was once the capital city of several ancient empires, Istanbul doesn't wear the modern-day capital crown of Turkey. Nope, that honor goes to Ankara, which sits about 278 miles away from Istanbul. Istanbul is the heavyweight champion when it comes to population, boasting over 16 million residents, making it the largest city in Turkey. However, when we talk about size, Konya takes the cake as the biggest city in Turkey by area. So while Istanbul may not hold the capital title, it still stands tall in history and population. And here's a quirky one for you. Istanbul wasn't just casually built on 7 hills. It was a clever move by the Byzantine Empire. They wanted to make a bold statement, so they mirrored the 7 hills of Rome. It was like saying, hey, we're the new Rome, as a bit of a snub to the falling Roman Empire. The city walls even wrapped around these 7 hills, just like they did in Rome. So next time you stroll through Istanbul and feel those hills under your feet, remember it's not just geography, it's a historical decision with a touch of sass. And here's a kicker, the Grand Bazaar in Istanbul isn't just any market. It's the oldest and the grandest covered market globally. Nestled in the district of Fatih, within the historic walled city of Istanbul, its roots trace back to the winter of 1455-56. Fast forward to today, and this bustling bazaar has become a shopping haven, standing tall as one of the city's significant landmarks. Imagine wandering through its 61 covered streets, exploring over 4,000 shops that offer everything from beautiful carpets to unique souvenirs. The Grand Bazaar isn't just a market, it's a vibrant piece of history you can shop in. Now that we've got your attention with those crazy Istanbul facts, let's get down to business. If you're planning to visit or are in the capital city already and wondering what to do, stick around, because we got the ultimate Istanbul itinerary lined up for you. If you still need to do so, we highly recommend you subscribe to our channel, as we will be making videos on all the major cities in the world. Number 1. Our first stop is Istanbul's iconic Skyline, the one you've probably seen in pictures or movies. When the sun sets, head to the Bosphorus for a dinner experience that's not just a meal, it's a vibe. But here's the scoop. It's so in demand that pre-booking is the way to go. So whether you've explored the city by day or just got into town, a 3-course dinner with Bosphorus views is the ultimate nightcap. And guess what? The entertainment is all about showcasing the best of Turkey. Bonus, they'll pick you up from your hotel and drop you back when the night's over. Istanbul's got the day covered, and we've got your night sorted. Number 2. Next up, let's take a stroll to the Blue Mosque, a total must-see in Istanbul. Right in Sultanahmet Square, the heart of the Ottoman action. It's not just a landmark, it's a working mosque. Now, you can pop in for a visit anytime outside prayer hours, which is basically from sunup to sundown. And guess what? It won't cost you a dime to get in, but hey, they're incredible with donations. Tip: bring a guide along to amp up your mosque game. Oh, and be ready to ditch the shoes at the door. It's a mosque thing. Once inside, you'll get why it's called the Blue Mosque. The place is decked out in stunning blue mosaics. Officially, it's Sultan Ahmet Mosque, a 17th century gem from Ahmed I's rule and bonus. It's his final resting spot. This beauty has room for a whopping 10,000 worshippers when it's prayer time. Talk about history and heavenly vibes. Number 3. Now, if you're a bit baffled by the vastness of Istanbul at night, don't sweat it. Taking a tour is the ultimate hack for a good time. Imagine this: a pub crawl led by a local guide, where you not only unravel the city's mysteries but also dive into the local drinking scene. Get ready to sip on raki, Turkey's go-to anisey-flavored spirit. It starts colorless but add water and bam, and it turns all milky. And hey, Turkish wine is stepping up its game, becoming a more delicious option, while the local lager is on tap or in a bottle. Picture yourself hopping around different spots in the evening, finding your top picks, and hey, you can always revisit them later in your holiday. It's like the ultimate night out guided by the city's vibe and your taste buds. Number 4. Are you hungry and curious about Turkish grub? Well, here's the scoop. Turkish food is a total winner. And if you want to dive into the laid-back food scene, take a stroll with the locals who know their stuff. Picture this: Turkish mezes. Those tasty appetizers are like a flavor explosion, rich, varied, and often veggie-based. And get this, everything's fresh, whipped up earlier in the day, and no processed stuff from the boring supermarkets. Nope, Turkish mezes are made from local veggies, straight from the producers. Turkey's got a stash of herbs, spices, and everyone's favorites: hot peppers, sweet peppers, and yogurt. Now, when it comes to street food, think sweet and savory pancakes with a dash of lamb or chicken magic. Sure, sitting down to a fancy dinner is cool, but imagine this walking tour munching on what locals enjoy every day, maybe even while they're commuting. It's like a delicious journey into the heart of Turkish food. Number 5. Let's take a cruise on the Bosphorus at night. There are different ones to choose from, each with its unique vibe. Picture this: whirling dervishes. These amazing male dancers showcasing their mesmerizing moves. Now, here's the twist. Turkey's also known for its fabulous female dancers, especially with Romani and Anatolian dance, full of vibrant colors and pure spectacle. And guess what? You might get invited to join in the fun and try belly dancing. Don't be shy, give it a shot. And hold on, there's more. A henna demonstration is likely in the mix. All of this set against the breathtaking backdrop, plus a scrumptious dinner. It's the whole package for an incredible experience. Number 6. Now, you can't visit Turkey without hearing about the whirling dervishes, right? Even though they actually originated in Iran, they become this iconic Turkish thing. These guys are part of a group called Sufis, a kind of minority Muslim crew that hasn't always been the most mainstream. But here's the cool part. These dervishes are like the spin masters of the dance world. Watching them twirl without getting dizzy is seriously something else. Okay, so maybe you won't catch a 4-hour non-stop performance. That's a record, by the way. But spending an evening with these whirling wonders is something you won't forget. The easiest way to do it: book a tour. They'll sort out your ride to and from the hotel. Number 7. Ready for a spa experience like no other? You might get a Turkish bath back home, but trust me, the real deal in Istanbul is something else. Picture this: you're lounging on a marble slab, surrounded by steam, while someone works their magic with scrubbing, foam bathing, and a relaxing massage. It's like a time machine to Roman times, thanks to the Byzantines introducing these heavenly hammams in the 7th century. The whole vibe is just something else, and in about an hour, you'll step out feeling like an actual new person. No more aches and pains, just pure relaxation. Number 8. So, here's the scoop. The locals in Istanbul are hooked on fishing, day and night, along the Bosphorus. The bridges that stretch across it are supposed to be off limits for walkers, but guess what? People often ignore that rule because who can resist a good stroll, right? Picture this: you're wandering along the Bosphorus, checking out the daily hustle and bustle, maybe even pausing for a cup of tea or coffee. Total vibe. And here's a little secret: it's the perfect way to let your dinner settle. Now the folks with fishing rods are on the hunt for bream. hanging out in these waters all year. But when the season's right, they might reel in mackerel, bonito, and bluefish. Talk about a catch. Number 9. Alright, check this out. The Galata Tower in Istanbul is like the OG of landmarks. Originally cooked up by the Byzantine Emperor Justinian as a watchtower, it got wrecked during the Fourth Crusade. Fast forward to the 14th century, the Genoese decided to give it a makeover, and voila, today's tower was born. Over the years, this bad boy went from being a prison under Ottoman rule to wearing many hats. Now it's rocking the museum life, and if you brave the climb to the top, you're in for a 360-degree showstopper view. Standing tall at about 200 feet with a deck that's below all the fancy decorations, it's the real deal. Number 10. And finally, there's this excellent Beyoglu Museum that's all about showcasing Turkish talent, kicking off its journey in 2004. It's not just your average museum. They're also rocking educational courses, a library, and even a cinema for some extra pizzazz. Inside, you'll find exhibition halls loaded with art, architectural wonders, photography, design, and the latest in new media. Plus, there's the sweet part. It's right smack in the heart of Istanbul. So you can totally make it part of your nighttime adventure, blending in with other cool stuff happening around. Quick tip: most museums in Istanbul call it a day earlier. So if you're planning an evening exploration, Thursday is the golden day for a visit. As we wrap up our Istanbul escapade, we've dived into some of the city's most iconic and delightful experiences. But hey, this is just the beginning of the Istanbul adventure. Whether you're a history nerd, a food enthusiast, or just someone seeking a good time, Istanbul's got something for every explorer. Drop a comment below and tell us which of these places you checked out. And hey, suggest some cities you'd love us to explore next. Big thanks for joining us on this journey through Istanbul, and make sure to hit that subscribe button for more travel tips and fascinating tidbits. Here's to new adventures and happy exploring.